weekly virtual Big B meetup. Good evening and salam alaikum. Big B meetup is a community initiative founded in 2018 in Qatar, dedicated to my mother and inspired by the people of Qatar. It aims to inspire, to inform, to educate, and bring communities together. This is our third session of the virtual Big B Meetup edition. I would like to thank our community partners, Qatar Red Crescent, Wahab Food Heroes, Batil Cafe, I Love Qatar, Qatar Living, Olive Radio, and Marhaba Information Guide. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to our wonderful guests, Dr. Hanan, with a big smile there.
Hi, Bosco.
Hi, Mr. Obeida. Wow, Mr. Obeida. That's what I know him as. Obeida. Yeah. And Aisha, Miss Aisha. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on board. And welcome again. So we'll start off with Dr. Hanan. She is an inspiration to me. I call her Dr. Feelgood. And Doctor, apart from being on a daily podcast, what else do you do?
Well, the daily podcast only started with Stefan and Your Onion podcast of Ginger Camel Network. That only started we're into our third week now, I believe. And
Yep.
It was basically for the same essence and the same spirit that you're bringing here. It's to bring positive impact into people's lives who are dealing with all the uncertainty that is happening these days, and to kind of aid them in their thinking on a positive mindset, but also from a business perspective, especially business owners and people who are working and stuff, and how to kind of look at this as from an opportunity perspective rather than just, kind of the grim outlook of what everyone has been trying to infuse.
Yeah.
So other than that, my brand is the business doctor. That's who I am.
Oh yeah, could you tell our Doctor, could you tell our viewers your social media platform so that we all know? And I'd like that
Sure.
all of us tell.
So I'm on Facebook and Instagram at HB, as in Hanan al-Basha, _ the business doctor. I also have a group on Facebook for ladies for free. I call it In Business and in Health. And I share literally my knowledge on business, health, wellness, and mindset, which is very important. And I'm on LinkedIn under my name, Dr. Hanan al-Basha.
Oh, lovely. That's nice. Excellent.
And what I do is I coach as well. So I have one-on-one coaching with the ladies, or I call it mentoring more, because it's more of sharing my experiences with them and everything I went through. I'm preparing an online course, and I've got a few other surprises that I'm working on, which I'm utilizing this time to work on, actually.
Yeah. So how are you actually coping with COVID? I know you are actually helping other people cope with COVID, but what are you doing to cope yourself? Some people, as I will go through with Obada, I know, some people are reveling in this. They're actually not enjoying it, but they're experiencing change and good change and embracing it. So how can you give us how you are coping and how you're making your clients cope?
That was exactly the point to start with. I mean, yet again, this was a universal feeling of uncertainty that happened, and a lot of people just didn't understand what was happening. And for a lot of us, it was just like kind of, what just happened? It was it was a bit of an issue there. And because I've been working on my mindset for so long, I could not let myself be stopped by this uncertainty. And I started taking another perspective and shift on what was happening, in the sense that, okay, what is it? Let me stop and analyze here. What is it that I can control, and what is out of my control? What I can control was my mindset and my approach. What I can control is to ensure that, my small family, my husband and my son, were taken care of internally in our house. We're staying safe. We are fed well. That's not an excuse for us to, kind of infuse our bodies with processed foods and sugar. That we stay positive about it, and we find a way to get our son through virtual schooling, get ourselves engaged, but also maintain our space and creativity in a way. What I can't control is what's happening outside. So after the first, 2 to 3 weeks of news and all the negative media and stuff, I just stopped watching media. I
Yeah.
disconnected. I knew what I needed to do was, stay safe and be
Can you repeat that again? I'd like to drive that in about you just stop reading news or stop watching media.
I stopped watching. I mean, we were watching the news most of the day, and what you're bombarded with, and that's what I started advising my friends to do. We were bombarded on a daily basis with the number of cases and the death around you and everything that is going to, it was a disaster all across. And in essence, that was because there was a lot of uncertainty. There were a lot of unknowns around. But then you start really analyzing what can you control, and there are 99% of what was happening you can't control, and it was universal. It wasn't like just one city or one country, it was everywhere, the whole world. So then you really have to see, okay, what would happen if I keep opening up? I had a friend of mine reach out and she's like, I'm getting anxiety because every morning I wake up and I press the button to see what's happening, the numbers around the world. And I said, how is that going to serve you? And that's the question I keep asking. How is that what you're doing? How is it serving you? Is it serving you positively? Keep doing it. If it's not, then stop. You can't control the numbers outside. What you can do is take care of yourself and your family. Be cautious. Do all the precautions that are now all across. So these were some of the things that I started embracing myself, and I started reaching out to my friends. I started connecting more online and within my group and within every platform, just
Yeah.
taking people through the thought process of realizing what they can and can't control, and accordingly letting go of what they can't control, because what I was doing is just giving people more anxiety and panic, and
True.
embracing more of what you can do and put a positive twist to it,
Yeah.
and gratitude, to be honest, a lot of gratitude and gratefulness for everything that we've got.
Gratitude. Yeah. Doctor, I want to ask you about, you're talking about gratitude, and also what is the previous thing you spoke about? It just missed my thought pattern. What did you say earlier
I was saying
about
that you realizing what you can and what you can't control,
anxiety?
and
Sorry. I was talking about do you suggest people, how do you, when people are anxious and in anxiety state, what should they do? Because people just pop a pill, which I don't really suggest. I don't. What do you suggest?
well, there are a few things, and this is possibly also something that I might have also discussed with Stefan, and I call it the processing process. And I know it sounds weird a bit, but it is that. And with the processing process, is what you do is you take a stand, you stop, you take a pause, and you analyze, what are you feeling right now? Like sometimes you'd feel a bit of anxiety or panic or anger or whatever it is, or sadness even, but you can't go beyond that. You can't go through the whole process without identifying what it is you are feeling. And once you analyze what it is you are feeling, then you go to the root cause of it, not just the symptoms. That feeling is a symptom. It's a kind of reaction to something. You have to go and see what the root cause is. Is it something that's happened, an event that triggered it, someone in your life that is being too toxic around you, a thought that crossed your mind, whatever it is. And once you analyze what triggered it as an event or a talk or a phone call or whatever it is, then you go and say, okay, what can I do about it? Going back to the what can I control and what I can't control. And
Yeah.
then is this something, because this is something that I need to heal in me? This is something that has shown me something about me that I want to heal? Or is this person self-projecting their insecurities and limiting beliefs onto me? And if that is the case, then I don't need to worry about it. I just let go of it.
True.
I make peace with it and I move on. So for a lot of people, they started
Make,
realizing
make,
that, yeah,
making peace. Making
yes,
peace is so important with
you have to
yourself.
make peace with a lot of things and a lot of people in your life, Bosco. Because, for example, for some people, it's their family members. I mean, you can't let go of family members, but you can learn to shield yourself from whatever energy they're passing on to you. But so if you go to the root causes, a lot of people started realizing that the root cause for their anxiety or panic, it might be a bit over exaggerated because of everything they're subjecting themselves to. They're absorbing the negativity, they're absorbing the news, they're absorbing everyone else's uncertainty, and just going through social media, scrolling and reading. And for example, some of the people on my social media, my friends and everything, I didn't disconnect with them. I just muted them or unfollowed them for the time being. And honestly, it made me feel better. I don't want to lose touch with these people, but everyone is processing with their own way. Some people just go through a panic. And it is Jim Rohn, one of the most motivational speakers. He has this statement that I love and I embrace. It says, every morning, stand guard at the door of your mind. And that
Wow,
just means that you have to stand guard of what you're letting into your system and
that's
into
very powerful.
yes. So
Can
I've
can you
embraced this, to be honest, as yeah, as a strategy of life that I have to do this. I
can
have to
you
stand guard.
Doctor, before we end, can you repeat that again? Because that's such a powerful statement. I love that statement.
Jim
Can you
Rohn,
repeat that?
Jim Rohn's statement, and he said,
You can make it
every
yours now. For the timing, it's yours.
I can't claim that that man is a legend. I've learned so much from him. So, but he says, every day stand guard at the door of your mind.
Wow, powerful, very
Yep.
powerful. Doctor, we're going to come back to you
Yes,
because
sure.
I want to engage Ubada because he's
Yes.
just staring at me there and I'm getting a bit nervous. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Ubada, how are you doing?
Everything good, man. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, great. Welcome. And I want to bring actually one point of what Dr. Hanan was talking about, taking in too much of sugar. I mean, not that she is, but she was talking about that a little earlier, like 5 minutes ago. And I wanted to get you in and say, what do you think about that? Because Obada, one of the things I've picked up over the past year and a half that I've known him is that he always talks about nutrition, and not about bulking up, but basic nutrition. And that's one of the things I like about him. It's not just exercise, but also the right food intake. What do you say, Obada? You know,
And
I mean, just
uh,
through you in.
look, a lot of our mental, our gut has a lot to do with how we feel and our mental state. So obviously, I've always and I still do preach balance. So not completely cutting anything out, but anything in excess is bad. And a lot of people, even personally, until today, I have through the eating disorders that I had, an unhealthy relationship with certain foods where I can't control the quantities. Now, if I was to kill a full tub of ice cream and a chocolate and this and that, the next 2 days are usually the days where I'm going through uh, negativity mentally, where I'm feeling a bit down. I don't feel as strong as I could be, feeling bad. They are the days following me indulging in these foods. So your gut health has a lot to do with how you feel physically, which affects you mentally. A lot of the times when I'm on track and monitoring and balancing my food, so still having a bit of sugar, but having the bulk of my foods coming from quality nutrients, these are the times where I feel unstoppable, both with my training, with life, with business, with what I'm trying to achieve. So I 100% agree with the nutrition side because what you're putting in your body has a lot to do with how you feel. It's not just about how you look. How you look's the result in consistently eating a certain way and moving and being active. But how you feel and how you mentally feel, it all comes back to what you're putting in your body uh, over a long term period, not just over 1 or 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Obad, I know I just threw you into the gauntlet. Yeah, threw you the gauntlet rather. Could you just give us your social media platforms, or what are you known as on your social media platforms for our viewers?
I work. I'm mainly just on my Instagram, so I'm gonna have to go and have a look at my Instagram because
Yeah, fine,
I don't
fine.
I don't even know it.
Hello, Aisha. How are you doing? Are
Sorry.
you with us? No, you carry on. Look for your Insta. I'm just making sure Aisha is with us. Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. Okay, okay, she can hear us, and yeah, no worries. Back to you, Obada.
So my Instagram, I only work on Instagram really. It's obese underscore training.
Obese, right? Yeah.
Obese, not obese, obese.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I said beast. Yeah, I
Because a
did
lot
say.
of people can get confused with that. Yeah, obese
You know, but,
underscore training.
yeah. Having said that, were you obese earlier, when much younger or fat? I mean,
Uh,
you were
sorry.
telling me that
Hmm.
you had a journey. You have a. I mean, we're all on our journeys. We are all on our journeys. But you had a story to tell about your eating disorder, if I'm not mistaken, and how you come out of it. And I mean, I
Uh,
want you to be an example to people. Like, look at you now. I mean, I'd love to be like you.
look, like I said, like the way you look is just a result of consistently for days after months after years, not being on track perfectly. I still until today have days and weeks where I'm really off track, and that's normal. It's human nature, but it's consistently trying to eat within a certain way and balance, and then consistently taking actions, which is obviously the exercising, trying to be more active. It's just consistently doing these acts and feeding your body a certain way that over the long term gets you looking a certain way. But it's not, again, it's not only about the looks, because I know a lot of bigger guys that you'd see and you'd be like, wow, they're in such good shape. But what they are inside, if we're talking health wise, maybe some of the most unhealthiest individuals. And I personally work with certain people and clients that, let's say, are in they're a bit older in age, and physically, let's say they want to see a certain physical result and they get frustrated because obviously it's harder at older age. But I tell them, I'm like, listen, you can run more than most younger guys can do nowadays. You're stronger, you're fitter, you're more active, you're probably way healthier than these younger guys are. And inshallah, obviously, that's going to relate to, lowering the risk of health issues. So, obviously, the way you look is a result of that. But me and Dr. Hanan were talking about the food, the
Yeah,
eating
yeah,
disorders
yeah.
before we went on. And yeah, so when I was younger, I got dragged into, limiting my food intake to a point where I became what I don't like to call it anorexic, but if I do look at it, it was anorexic, bulimic, making myself vomit when I'd eat something. And then that just developed for years. And then I came out of that. But then obviously it developed a relationship between me and food where I'd look at certain foods, and if I'd have one or of a certain thing that people would say is unhealthy, I'd automatically feel horrible, which now is what I'm preaching against. I'm trying to preach how people learn how to monitor and balance everything into their life and diet without making it mentally affect them. But I do blame, I don't actually, no, I wouldn't say blame, but a lot of it comes down to a lot of social media, because at the end of the day, everything's become a business. So people will preach certain things to make money out of it. The diet doctors, the this, the that. People that don't have the basic knowledge on nutrition and they obviously want to change, they look at these people as their mentors, and it's usually the first person that might make sense to them, without looking at the basics of nutrition and a healthy lifestyle, they'll follow, which will start developing certain habits. So this is why I try to preach everything as a whole and educate rather than preach. But
True.
yeah, pretty much me. I'll stop there because otherwise I won't be quiet.
No, no, that's fine. No, I remember that. I mean, I remember you saying that to me earlier also. That and I like what you do. You practice what you preach. Uh, I'd like to also ask you, how are you coping with COVID, Obada?
I'm not gonna lie, it's been good. It's been really good. How long's it been now? Have we hit 2 months since
Mm,
staying at home?
nearly, right? I,
With here, yeah, we're
yeah,
approaching.
yeah,
I think like a
yeah,
good.
approaching. Yeah, because I think we had not lockdown, the quarantine
Mm.
from what, middle of March,
March,
maybe the
more or
second week
less.
of
Yeah,
March.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
around mid-March. Yep.
yeah. Let's get in Miss Aisha, the green revolutionary Qatari girl, on board, and let's see what she has to say, how she's coping with COVID. Hello, Aisha. Aisha, are you there? I mean, she is there. We just need to get her voice. Hello. Hang on, just give us a minute. Okay, we're having a small issue with Aisha with the sound. Can you hear us, Aisha? Give us Just apologies, guys. Just give me a minute. Hello, Aisha. Okay, hang on. We will. What we'll do is we'll come back to Aisha in a bit. Yeah, because there's a sound problem there. Not a problem. There's no problem here. We can solve everything, right? Right, Dr. Hanan, the wellness guru.
Technical glitches happen. It's a fact of life. We just have to
Yeah, yeah,
work around
yeah,
them.
yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to give her one more try. Aisha, are you there? Okay. We will get her back soon. We will. We will. We got a couple of more minutes on. We have another 20 minutes for sure. So, Doctor, can we got back to what you're doing and how you're managing your clients, and what has been your like what's been difficult, or what's not really difficult? Any mountain to climb in the past couple of weeks?
To be honest, not really. I mean, I've embraced coaching through online coaching on Zoom for a very long time now. So it's just a lot more practical in a lot of times, and especially that I also work with some clients that live abroad, so they're not in the same country. So technically, I found that Zoom was very effective as a platform to
Oh,
talk, to have the video calls, but more importantly, I believe in energy, and we can still share our energy when we're doing those calls.
really?
So,
How do you? I mean, no. I mean, I believe in energy because after I have my big B meetups, I'm totally drained. I mean, I am drained. So I want to know, how's the synergy, how's the energy from people when you're like a million mile, not million, 1,000 miles away,
um, I used to get drained when I used to have longer sessions, but then I learned a few tips and techniques. Well, first, I always start my day with meditation and positive affirmation, so that sets up my frame of mind and my mindset for the rest of the day.
Is it personalized? Sorry, I'm so sorry to I'm
No,
breaking up.
no, no, not at all.
The
Actually, I just have
affirmations, the
a few
affirmations.
videos. I have the app like Headspace and stuff, but I found like going through about 2 years of listening to different things on YouTube, I found my short list of videos that I just like listening to on
Okay,
a daily basis,
okay.
and it just kind of set
So
up
it's
the.
like your mantra. It's like your mantra.
It's kind of the thing I have to do in the morning. This is like I don't communicate. I don't go on social media. I don't do anything. Don't open my laptop until I'm done with that part of the day.
Wow.
Yeah. Not actually. I don't interact generally like my phone. Yeah, I switch it. I never switch it on when I'm in the bedroom. I switch it on when I'm just making my coffee and stuff, that kind of thing. When you're prepping for the morning. And I don't engage right away, regardless of the messages and notifications I get. So I make sure that's part of my role of how I stand guard at the door of my mind. Because once you start reacting, or if you start your day in a reaction mode or in a reactive mode, then you kind of set yourself up for negativity for the rest of the day. So first I have to prep my mind. This is how I prep, by meditation and positive affirmations. And then I'm ready to receive, and I'm ready to, kind of react in the appropriate manner. After a session, usually a coaching session, I also take some time just to let my brain calm down.
Yeah.
Because before I used to absorb, especially when going
I'm just
through
going to say that.
coaching and stuff, I used to absorb a lot of their energy or their worries or
Negativity.
something, and I keep thinking about it, and I track. So
Yeah.
I have learned to separate that from myself. I am with them. I am very mindful during our sessions. Um, I'm all in. Like I always say, I share my all. I'm all in when during the session. But I have learned that I do my job mentoring during the session and any other support that is required between sessions. But I don't let whatever is happening in their life impact my life personally, because it's
Wow.
not my story to react to.
Yeah. That's the professional part of you, right? Because it's going to be
I
difficult to
had
do that.
I
You're
had
gonna
to,
because
because
we're all
I had
human
so
beings.
much empathy that it started affecting me. And I'm one of the people that it's like I get psychosomatic symptoms, which means that, whatever I'm thinking of manifests physically with me. So that's why, migraines were very normal for me before under stress. I've got reflux issues with my gut. I've got back issues. I've got all the physical symptoms that go with it. And I had to learn to stop doing that to myself because I had to protect my body.
Yeah.
And my psyche.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, like, I 100% know what you're saying. Like, the whole when you're dealing with so many people, because with personal training, you build a trust, and you start to talk and then learn about each other. And I'd always be there, even through social media. Like, a lot of the time, it's not my clients, and people would speak to me.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy. I'm always there for whoever, right? And before I started having my anxiety and panic attacks, before I took my steps back, that was what was happening. I was helping everyone, but it got so overwhelming, plus my own life and things I'm doing externally from the gym and being healthy, it just hit my system. And then after that, I learned you have to take a few steps back to take care of your own health and your own your own mental state before you can help other people, because you're the number one, and then everybody else comes kind of after that.
But that is exactly the same analogy that is what is happening now. I mean, we remember you've heard all the analogy on the plane, and God forbid if there's low air pressure, you put on your mask first so you can help others. And that is what I'm advocating now, that you have to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself does not make you selfish. It just means to be able to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself, because then if you collapse, then the ripple effect goes all across.
Dr. Hanan, taking care of yourself is so important. Here we have a lady who's taking care of the planet, the green queen, or the green princess, I call her. I think she's back on with us. Aisha? She was on right now because she just messaged me saying, "Hi, Aisha. We need to keep trying. Try till you succeed." They say.
Yeah.
And I am trying because I got time on my hands. Well, I do have time. Yep.
All of us have plenty of time nowadays.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. She's gone out. She's gonna try again. She's gonna try again. Yeah. Sorry, doctor. We can go
No,
back.
I really wish I want to hear her story.
Yeah. No. So many people want to hear her story because she's a young Qatari university girl who's the founder of Greener Qatar, environmental recycling foundation, a program, and she's doing really well. She was part of my one of my meetups in September last year on Istidama.
Yes.
I learned the word now. I'm not really great at Arabic, but Istidama, I know the word. So we had a fantastic program, and she was one of the speakers at a Qatari heritage site called Barzan.
Yes.
And she did really well. Yeah, she's back with us. Bless her and bless the audio. Hi, Aisha. The world wants to know where you are. Okay. I don't mind if she's not visible, but if she can hear us, let her speak. Hi, Aisha. Okay. You know what? We're going to go back to Obada. And
There she is.
hey, yeah, there she is. Aisha, we're not letting you go, okay? Please stay. Are you with us? Aisha, I can't hear you. We cannot hear. Can you hear her?
No.
Guys?
No.
Okay. Aisha? Hang on. Hello, Aisha.
Check if your mic is on mute, Aisha. So that happened to me last night. Remember in our test?
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Stefan. Thanks for coming on. He told me he's a morning person, but he's here with us at 8:30. Wow. Okay, great. And thank you, Glennis, Tanya, Myra, Hussam, Kabir. Wow, we got people from all over the world. Kabir is he's in Argentina or in Iceland or something. He's a friend of mine. He's a musician and a traveler. And yeah, Aisha, are you with us? Stefan, thank you so much for introducing me to Be Live TV. You did tell me there could be glitches, and here you go. Yeah,
Stefan, see you tomorrow.
yeah. No, I'm gonna hang on. You know what? We will keep. We'll keep touching base with Aisha. What do you think? We'll continue our conversation, and we'll
Sure.
keep touching base with her. As soon as we hear her, we'll just stop and we'll say, "Go ahead, Aisha." What do
Yeah,
you
let
say?
her jump in.
All
Let her
in.
jump in. Yeah, yeah. So, Obara, tell me how have you been teaching your? I believe you've been your dad and your brother, or who else in the family are your students? Your students.
I mean, before Corona hit, um, obviously here in Doha right now, it's just me, my dad, and my two brothers. Obviously, my
Is that
youngest
the
brother,
brother? Is that your brother who you've been throwing shoes at?
yeah, he's the one that I've been trying to keep in line.
Oh wow!
There's a lot of training that comes on top of the physical training, but no, it's all jokes. It's all jokes. It's all for the sake of, like we were talking about earlier. I am a big believer in a lot of the silly things I put on Instagram, the jokes and even when I started jumping on the TikToks, which I never thought I'd do, like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Aisha in.
Aisha. Wow, you're good. Obara, you stopped on the dot. Aisha, are you with us? Hi, Aisha. Good Lord. Sorry, Obara. Can you go back to your train of thoughts?
So yeah, no, I a lot of the silly things I do on Instagram, whether it's on my stories or even like before Corona hit, I'd look at TikToks and think, what are these people doing? And then 2 weeks into it, I was on the imaginary horse, which was the broomstick, and I was riding the pony. But and I've been even before Corona though. I've always done jokes on Instagram as well. And to be honest, it's just obviously some people do find it lame, but then some people will say like whatever it may be, like you put a smile on my face today, whatever. So I do believe humor and keeping that kind of energy going on is we have it in Egypt, right? The Egyptians are very humorous people, regardless of what they're going through, and humor and keeping that kind of energy rolling, it just keeps everybody afloat, kind of thing. And I believe that, and I like keeping things funny, silly, jokes with a bit of fitness inside, so that it's a balance of people can see that you have a good time and that you can stay and be a normal person and have jokes and humor, but then also be a bit serious at times too.
Yeah. Aisha, are
But
you
yeah,
with us?
she's there.
Aisha, can you hear us? I think she wants to come on our next show. She can hear us. Can you speak? Even if you are speaking, Aisha, you just come. You can speak, right? Can you? Yeah, she can hear us, but we can't hear her. Can you use sign language, perhaps?
Lip reading.
Yeah,
Yeah, she needs
Aisha,
a.
everybody's clamoring to hear you about all the green stuff you've been doing. Yeah. Yeah. What do we do with the audio? Aisha, you want to go back and just check your audio and get back to us? We'd love to have you. We got another 15 more minutes. And if it's still an issue, I promise you I'm going to get you on again. We have the whole, I shouldn't say the whole year ahead.
Don't say
I just,
that. Don't say
yeah,
that.
sorry. Oops, no, 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 no. We have a couple of
But
more
still,
weeks ahead.
you can have as many virtual meetups as you want. Just don't associate them with the same topic.
Exactly. You're right. I want to do that. I was just thinking of this last week and say, you know what? If this goes well, and it should, positive affirmations by Dr. Feelgood,
Sure.
by Dr. Feelgood, and I want to do this. I want to do this at least once a month or twice a month.
Yeah, why
But
not?
all back on the road, we can get you guys again. And I'm also thinking of getting people from across the world. Actually, why not just you don't have to fly them in anymore. Just say, hey, this is the Be Live code. Get on and give me 10 minutes of your time and speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
engage the community. Yeah. So can we get back to Obada, or you've forgotten what you wanted to speak about?
Who?
Yourself, you were talking
Me?
about.
Yeah,
How,
you were asking me about the family. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
my youngest brother Abdurrahman, he's 14 years old. A year
Okay.
ago, he was overweight, and obviously back then I was. It's one of the blessings from. I've said recently that it's been a blessing in disguise. Obviously, I'm a guy that's always been on the run, on the move. So from business to clients to other things that I get involved in business wise, and I'm always out and about. So obviously, when I didn't realize though how much he was looking at me, and he got into training, and he used to train with me a little bit, but then I got busy. But I didn't realize in the last year Aisha's moving pretty smoothly. Shall we try again?
Yeah.
I'm feeling so bad for Obada. I'm like we are talking, and then
No, no,
suddenly,
no, no, no. It's because the video is moving smoothly. So
yeah, Aisha,
Yes.
there she
Oh,
is. She's there.
great.
Can you hear me?
Aisha, yeah,
yes.
we can hear you. Alhamdulillah,
Perfect.
fantastic. This is amazing. Aisha, please go ahead and yeah, you got everybody waiting to hear you. So this is
Thank
Aisha, and I would
you.
like, yeah, can you introduce yourself and please give us all your social media handles because we want everybody to follow you.
Okay. Thank you so much for everyone patient. My name is Asha Al Maadid. I'm the founder of Greener Future. It's message or awareness to people to be more aware about the environment and how we should be respectful to the
Aisha,
environment and look after our money. Okay.
can,
And I
can
have my
you
personal page which is almaadid.a.
hang on, huh? Aisha, we're having a small problem.
It's about my
Can you repeat yourself, Aisha?
I always
Did you all hear her?
Oh, I think it could possibly be the internet connection.
post
Okay, that's okay, fine.
um,
Uh, Aisha, we cannot hear you. You're breaking up at times. Can you have a look into that? We'll have to apologize and get Aisha back on in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I'm never giving up. Never, right? Yeah. Uh,
That Justin Bieber song, "Never Give Up." Nah, nah, nah.
oh, okay. I'm not a big Bieber fan, but yeah, yeah. So hopefully, Aisha will get back to us. But if it doesn't happen, I'll definitely have her again on. I'm planning another program. Actually, you know what? I'm the next. I shouldn't speak it so early, but I was going to end with that. But I could anyway go to that. The next virtual Big B meetup next week is planned for children. It's a special edition for kids, and I'm doing something for Garangav. It's a very Khaliji festival for children, and
That's
I
nice.
love it. I do this every year with the kids. So this year they're going to be at home. So I'm trying to get a restaurant or a confectionery company to come on board and help me use one of the these carrier companies to distribute Garangao boxes to the kids who send me their Garangao video singing the Garangao song.
That's nice. That's a
I'm
very
going to air
nice
that.
idea.
Yeah, and I'm going to air that next weekend on maybe on a Friday or a Saturday because I think Garangao is on Thursday, so I'm going to have it on a Friday or a Saturday. And usually they have a lot of programs here and there, like at Qatar. I was there at Qatar last year. Year before last, I was at another iftar, Ramadan tent, and the kids just enjoyed themselves. It reminds me a bit of like trick or treat, like Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
So
Yeah.
awesome.
2 years, last year, one of my clients, like, you never grow out of your inner kid. My client, when I went to train him, gave me a garango, I think that's how you pronounce it, box of
Yeah.
sweets. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was so happy with it. I was so happy. I ran to my car, I opened it up, I saw what was inside. So you don't grow out as a kid, no.
I've done the same thing. I actually, as soon as I'm in the car, I rip open the chocolate box and I'm eating it, and I'm not 10. Yeah, yeah. I think we have Aisha back again. Hi, Aisha.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, Aisha, can you start from scratch because we could barely hear you. You'll have to tell us everything again. Like introduce yourself and Greener Qatar.
Hello
Aisha.
everyone. My name is Aisha Al-Maadid. I'm the founder of Greener dot QA initiative. It's our main focus is how to save the environment and how to let people be more aware how to protect our environment, and that is responsibility. We started end of 2018. We visited schools, university to let people get involved in our activities and save the environment. Where I captured moments that I like and
Okay, guys. You know what? I'm gonna just
Yeah.
post
have a chat with her. Hang on. Let me speak to her, and I'll get back to you. I'm not giving up, but
them,
nearly.
and
No, but the initiative
always
needs more space. So maybe
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
bring that.
I'll do that. Hang
I
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry, Dr. Hanan and
No.
Obada.
That's all good.
But yeah, coming back to us now, I'm going to speak to Aisha and see. I don't think we can get her back again because it's breaking up, and I think we're nearly there at the end. Uh, Dr. Hanan, any parting words for us? What do you think? How did you? I mean, what would you like to say to your prospective uh, clients? Not only clients, actually. The good thing about you is I don't think so. I would not call any of your clients clients. What I mean?
Yeah.
Wh-
No, I
You know,
don't. For me, it's always about two main things that are always driving me: impact, positive impact, and connection. And excuse me, I like to think that every lady I work with becomes my friend because we connect on so many levels, and that is something that is really important, that people also maybe take this time as an opportunity to reconnect with everyone that as Austin Kleon, which he's an artist and he's written a book, and I loved how he's put it. He's like, you don't only connect with like-minded people, but you also connect with like-hearted people.
Yeah, I love that. Doctor, how do you throw in so many of these names, these big names. Can you give us your favorites, like two or three or four favorites of yours, so that we
I'll
can
tell
actually
you,
go and
I've been working for the past at least 2.5 years on, I call it my healing journey, in a healing transformational journey, because I've worked a lot on my mindset and a lot of things related. Of the big names that have impacted me so much, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Mel Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jim Rohn, as I was just saying, and their books. But the point is, that's the thing, that now we have so many options that you don't just get your information from one person or one source. Like, I go on YouTube to get channels. Tom Billio's channel on YouTube is amazing because he's interviewed a lot of people who have a lot of impact, but more importantly, they share their story and you get inspiration from it. I have Audible books, so I listen to them. I get books. I've got about 50 books still left for me to read of those that I purchased, and I promised myself not to buy any new ones until I'm done. It's of course. Then of course I enroll in courses, and like as I have said with and Stefan's podcast, that I'm in Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins course right now. So it is about that. It's about in line with what Abada was saying about nutrition. I also think of it now as nourishment. And nourishment is not just about food. Nourishment is about what you eat, what you feel, and what you think, and it is for your mind, your body, and your soul. And that has been my purpose, just nourishing all
Can
of
you repeat that again? I'm sorry to tell you to repeat these, but these things that's like affirmations for me. They're so powerful. Don't
it's
you think so?
and my aim in life and my target has now become nourishing my mind, my body, and my soul. So my body is yes, I'm very cautious of what I put into it. As Abada was saying, I'm not fanatic, and I do give myself, the space to embrace and eat whatever I want without going overboard in any way. Because I also worked on my relationship with food a while back. um, my body and my so that's my body, and then my mind and my soul are through the meditation and the affirmations and working in that sense. And of course then my mind goes everything. I'm standing door at the mind, I'm standing guard at the door of my mind, through what I let into it, who I listen to, what I read. And if there's nothing wrong when I listen to someone and then I feel like I outgrew them, or I don't connect to their message anymore, I move on to someone else. And that's a beautiful thing. It's just embracing what nourishes you on every level, including relationships, including, people, including going out, including all these things. I'm just very selective
True.
of how I'm nourishing myself.
Obada, do you have a love hate relationship with food?
Oh, there's so many foods I love. Uh,
What do
Lord,
you
if let's not get if I get into the food, we might be here for hours and hours and hours. But
well, try,
yeah. So
try
look,
and control it.
I'll keep it basic. Like, look, I do know that what I'm putting in my body is to fuel my body to get through the function and what I need to do in terms of working out on my day. There are certain foods that we all love, whether it's a chocolate or this or that. So in terms of those ones, I just figure out how I can fit that within the majority of good nutrients for my body when I feel like having it, and I just fit it within. Happy, try not to feel guilty about it. Life moves on. Because when you feel guilty, you tend to feel bad and overdo it out of feeling bad. And if you say no to it, you're going to obviously also, the cravings get worse and worse and worse. And you're probably going to overdo it anyway in both ways. So that's how I'll summarize it up. But one thing that I really agree with Dr. Hanan as well was about the people you're around and stuff like that. Because I was gonna say, and I'll take this back to the point when you were asking me back then as well, is we feed off the people that are around us. So
Sure.
right now, people that are if you're at home with everyone's stressing out and shouting and screaming and this is happening, panicking, everyone's gonna panic. And taking it back to your point of, I was only training with my younger brother Abdurrahman. After this whole thing went down, it's been 2 months, and right now for the first hours, I was struggling to get my dad to move. He could probably hear me in the next room too right now, but I was struggling to get him to move. And in the last 2 months, I'm training him every other day, and he's actually working out now because
Wow.
he sees me and the boys training.
That,
Abid, my teenage brother, he's also come to me and he's like, "Abada, can you tell me what to do?" So the whole family's working out now, and these are
isn't
some
that
of the
amazing?
it's one of the blessings we can get out of being at home right now with the people that are families and people we love, is doing the things we can't do together to get better together and then just to
True.
feed off of each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did this happen just during Ramadan or it's happened before?
It happened before Ramadan, but a number of things that we've never done before, like even like praying, like we've never prayed together. We like, I mean, we would be prayer time, everybody gets busy, right? Everyone's like, oh, I need to do this. I got this going on. Oh, I'm in the bathroom, when prayer time used to come. Now we've
Yeah.
kind of from that side from my father, like we've all started to kind of try and come together and do that together. So the fitness side, the religion side, the so many different things that having this time together we could benefit from, because once life goes back to normal, either we'll kind of appreciate what we've had now, or everyone's going to go back to their day-to-day hectic crazy lives,
Yeah.
and all this that we could have benefited from now, we might not have another chance like this with the people
True.
around us.
Well said. Well said. Do you have a one liner to give people, like as a parting, like not a message but a one line, yeah, message actually, to people saying that how should they cope with COVID through a message from Obada, like you know You know what I mean?
I mean, look, before I do give the line, I'll say like everybody is different, every human is different, and we all look at situations differently. So I can't just say do this because everyone's gonna be different in how they cope. I'll just say try your best, you know, try your best.
Great, great. And Dr. Hanan, did I ask you for a last message? I didn't. I think
I
I
thought
wouldn't
I
mind
did,
giving another.
but let me give another one.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
it is about embrace a gratitude lens and take a big take the wider perspective of what is happening in life. Appreciate everything that you've got, and that is not just, sometimes it's not just about the financials or the career or whatever. It is about, as Ahmed, I was just saying, it is about nurturing relationships. It is about connecting with others. It is about being there for each other. And I always say, now I've been saying this message a few weeks now, we are all of value, and we can all come from a place of service and abundance, and we can all support and help each other out, even if it's by a positive word. That is my role. Someone else can go out and do stuff for people. Someone else is a doctor and, or frontliner, or someone is talking. So every one of us in the society has value. Just ensure that you are providing the value that people need of you.
True. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm taking questions from people. I don't know if are you getting to see the same as me? I think you are.
I'm seeing
I
messages.
got the live comments.
Any,
Yeah.
if any of our viewers have any questions, please go ahead. You can type it into the chat room, and either Dr. Hanan or Bada. We will have Madam Aisha on board very soon, as in on another Big B meetup. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
sure.
about that, Dr. Hanan and Obada. We couldn't get
No,
her.
no, I'm sorry I didn't get to catch her live, but I'll make
Yeah,
sure to tune in next time she's on
yeah.
air.
And as we promised, we will meet up once we all are able to go and sit down at a coffee shop, or maybe
Inshallah.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Hanan, for your
Thank
valuable
you.
time, and Ubada for your time too. You guys
Pleasure.
are amazing.
Thank you for having us, man. It's always a pleasure.
Really
Yeah,
pleasure.
and thank you, viewers. I hope you'll enjoy the third virtual Big B meetup. They're going to be weekly, and Dr. Hanan is actually daily on a good friend Stefan's podcast at 2 o'clock, right? 2:15.
2:15.
Yeah,
2:15
on
Doha
Ginger
time.
Channel. You should, if you want more of Dr. Hanan, go on that. Yeah. And thank you so much. Ramadan Kareem again. And stay home, stay safe, and keep watching Virtual Big B Meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Masalama.
Everyone have a good night.
Good night.